I can relate to that big time. Definitely, I'm a mom and I have a young daughter, and even in my work, I'm always showing up for others. And sometimes that means that I leave very little time for myself, even in my work, sometimes to eat or remember to drink water. Um, but then I can quickly see what my mood can turn into or how I can feel, or you can start to resent what you're doing, which I think is another word is for burnout. And then you're not feeling joyful, and then you're not really helping others. So you become misaligned with what you were actually meant to do. Um, and then once you make that conscious decision, okay, I'm going to start investing in myself and taking better care. And you start to see even little strides can have good results with yourself, for yourself and for others, then you feel more compelled to do it. But definitely in my life, I've experienced burnout so many times, and the only way out of it was to stop and spend some time refilling whatever you're burnt out of, whatever's gone. I love the gas tank analogy. You have to fill it up. A car won't run on an empty tank, and I know we're not machines, but we can't run on empty. Or even a better analogy is your cell phone. Your cell phone needs to be plugged in and charged for it to work, and you probably wouldn't get far if it was the low battery. And I think a lot of us are living on very low battery, and we don't know what the plug is to plug into the wall to recharge us. We maybe don't even know that, and that can be explored in therapy. What is it that is going to recharge you to feel more vital, more energetic, more happy, more joyful? I'm a little bit mad with the term that self-care we think of going to the gym or getting our nails done, because so many people it may not be. It may be having some time with no noise just to think. It may be just spending some time enjoying your cup of coffee. It could be simple things, not, I think, what maybe is promoted or marketed to us. Burnout is a horrible place to be. I would say a good example is you're doing your work, but you almost feel annoyed by it. For example, a doctor who's burnt out, maybe before burnout, they see a patient and they're like, yes, another patient, I can't wait to help. And like, oh, another person who needs my help, I have nothing left to give. And you're almost becoming annoyed by it. There was even an article I read that for burnout for moms or parents is that, the baby needs you. And instead of like, your natural instinct, like, oh, another diaper, oh, another bottle, you become a bit tired of what you're doing. And I think it's burnout. Maybe if you're not taking a break, you're not feeling any better. You keep working and trying. And very often the cure to it is stopping for a little bit and saying, I'm not doing well. And I'm not enjoying this anymore. And it's sometimes most often I think people catch it when it's getting too late and they're really in distress and they're really struggling. And it's really nice to have someone to reflect with you saying, you're working this many hours a week, you're taking care of your family, you have these additional stressors. Maybe there's a chance this is too much for you to cope with. I think people's threshold for pain and suffering is really high. I think they really bear a lot. But if you really piece out what you have going on in your life and even have an outsider reflect it back to you, you may say, oh, that's a lot. That's like the Thanksgiving plate and the gravy's overflowing on the table. That's a lot to hold for people. People hold so much these days. I think they have so much going on. Yeah. It's almost, in a way, a good way to trick your mind, or a good life hack, I would say, is people who are struggling to support themselves or take care of themselves or love themselves, who may be caretakers, healthcare workers, parents, anyone with dependents, is actually realizing that you will be able to help others better if you take care of yourself and you try to cultivate joy in you and you try to live a life where you feel more joy, and you would show up better for others. So an example I will give is, as someone who supports others, some of my biggest motivation to invest in myself and get better is so I can show up better for others, because I want to be the best I can be at what I do. It's a bit of a trick to trick myself into doing it, because I know that it will result better for others. So, and of course, in the airplane, they always say you put your own oxygen mask on first, but we forget about that a lot of times. But it is really important. And the best way to do it is just to try it on your best day after you've given yourself some love, and see how then you show up in your relationships with others, with your kids, with your spouse. You'll see the evidence there that, wow, I feel happier and therefore I can make others feel happier.